And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for our final game of the evening, the day, the morning, whatever it is. LGD.cdec versus Tongfu. It's a battle of two teams searching for their first win here in Starladder, China. They're both 0-5, they both have 2 more games to play, and they both do not want to end this tournament without at least getting 1 win. This one's for pride, not for a chance at the playoffs. And well, with that, of course, I'm LDF Beyond the Summit. I'll be joined here by Blaze, and Blaze, the draft is officially underway. We get to see an Invoker, something a little bit different, right? Right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Invoker's had a hard time this metagame. He's a very slow hero naturally, very gankable, and the activity of roaming supports has made it very infrequent for him to be drafted, at least in the first phase. Like, sometimes we see him picked up as a 4th or 5th pick, but almost never as 2nd. So, Tongfu, they're looking to turn this into essentially like a Chinese pub. They're just going into ranked match play. It's like, oh, I'll just auto win with Invoker. Let's lock this in. Let's go and just play our style. And you know, when it comes down to it, LGD.cdec, they kind of have that mentality going into this to a degree, because obviously they come out from the in-house leagues. They say, okay, well, we have our own individual skills. We just want to perform. We want to outshine. And really, this is what it's about here. Is, like you said, pride, showing what they can do, and making it so that their fans can be proud and hold their heads high for at least this one game. So, yeah, I'm expected to see some pretty cool things. But as far as the combo, so you see Sunstrike plus the Lasso for now, and we'll have to see from there. Interesting bans, though. The Templar Assassin, the Sand King, really feels like they just don't want to have a bad matchup in the mid lane, and the Sand King, I guess, is just a good roaming hero to go with the Skywrath.
Yeah, interesting to see TA banned when they've already picked Batrider as well, who is normally like the ultimate TA counter. You can Flame Break her out of Meld. Obviously, you've got Firefly, so she has really no ability to keep her refraction charges up, and you can find her anywhere, even with the Blink Dagger. She's not getting away from you, so yeah, bat slating isn't as strong as it used to be with the base damage nerf. Still, if you're ever against TA, there's not one hero in the game that I would rather have than a Batrider to deal with her. So, like you said, I think it really shows they want an easy lane for this Invoker. But well, will he get one? I mean, all the premier solo mids are banned out. The Death Prophet, the Viper, the Razor. So I guess, well, he'll get a decent lane, but he might not get a very good game because LGD.cdec have a Tusk. They have a Scarlet Mage. Let the roaming begin.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. Centaur and Tusk roaming together. This is really just, I mean, people call it pub meta, but it is insanely potent, just getting those early ganks off. And I'm expecting them actually to go to where the Radiant Ancients spawn, hang out on that cliff, and go for first blood from there. Going in and just going for the long-range snowball, surprise attack coming from above, and see what they can accomplish there. We'll see if it's scouted out or whatever, but I'm looking for some clowny stuff. This is going to be a fun game between the two teams, and fighting for pride, I think there's plenty of room for error, for mistakes, but for some awesome Joda nevertheless. Tongfu is going to pick up the Lifestealer here. It works well with the Batrider for those crazy bombs, but I like against Tusk, you're still being hit by a magic immunity piercing disable. You're going to be controlled a little bit by the obstruction of the... I want to actually forget what that spell's called, but Ice Shards. And then,
yeah, Ice Shards.
And then they're also going to be able to kite you with the Stampede. So I'm not necessarily feeling the Lifestealer pick, but it's good enough against Skywrath Mage, and obviously they want to go for some kill combos of their own.
Yeah, LGD.cdec now, well, they've got their strong roam. They'll want to have some sort of core potential here. Something that can scale a bit better than a Centaur towards the late game, so curious to see what they'll go for. They have decent team fight already. Like I mainly just feel like they need damage more than anything, and ideally some physical damage, because they don't really have a great solution. Well, they have some solutions for Lifestealer. They do have the Sigil and Walrus Punch. Actually, Tusk is pretty good against Lifestealer in general, but they don't really have much physical damage to follow this up outside of the Punch, which is only really good if the hero's already about to die anyway. So they'll get Ember. There you go. There's some physical damage. And some magical to boot. This is going to be a really sad lane for Invoker. I almost feel like Tongfu need to they just have to change the lanes. Like, putting Invoker mid is just a death sentence.
I don't know, man. They already committed to the Lifestealer, the Batrider, the Invoker. Like, who do you put mid in that situation? You can run Bat that way, but it just feels just as weak. The Veno is going to have to be like a counter ganking support.
They can just dual lane mid. I think you just do like Lifestealer Veno.
Okay.
That tri-lane is... They do have the Scarlet Mage Silence, but he's not going to be... He's not going to take that level 1, right? So by the time he has Silence, your Lifestealer should have enough levels to hopefully live through the combo. I don't know. I'm not. Invoker mid is the easiest hero by far out of anyone on their team to gank, and
Oh yeah.
he's not going to be posting up for CS when he's up against these supports. So it seems like just silly to put him there. If you're going to sack somebody, I'd rather sack a lifestealer than an Invoker.
Sure. At least he has some way to respond. He's got some good, decent durability. Maybe not the best armor, but still, before level 6, they shouldn't have the burst damage to bring him down too easy, and they can go for some counter kill under tower with the Gale. So, yeah, they're going to ban up to Zeus, interestingly enough. This game has gotten wild enough, I wouldn't be too surprised. But, yeah, this draft is definitely different than what we normally get to see, but I'm looking for 5-man snowballs, man. I'm looking for some real offensive movement. I mean, I want to maybe even see Stampede used with the snowball just to see how fast that thing can go. Like, there's got to be some crazy stuff in this to keep it going. But the Weaver's going to be banned out here. LGD.cdec, if they wanted to get one more core hero that would have been able to go toe-to-toe with the Lifestealer in particular really well, it's the Weaver for sure. So, yeah, they don't have enough control for him outright, no hard stuns, and they just say that's not going to be something we want to deal with.
Yeah, and now they get Black Coals here on LGD.cdec, so... Tongfu thought they were going for a carry that can kind of chase the Lifestealer, but this is a really sad Lifestealer game now, all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Sleight of Fist, Stampede to run away from him, the Instant Silence from Skywrath to deal with him, Walrus Punch, Frozen Sigil, and most importantly, perhaps, the Enigma's combo of Midnight Pulse and Black Hole. So, the way I see Tongfu, if they're going to win this game doing it, is with Lifestealer bombs and Sunstrike kills. Like, I don't see them winning team fights anymore. That's down the drain with these picks. If they want to do that, maybe they can go... Well, see, they need a support even. So yeah, unless they want to run like a 4-position Bat Rider, but then their lanes are just super weak. So yeah, I'm feeling like they just have to have someone snowball somehow, even though all these lanes look pretty unfavorable. I'm really liking this LGD.cdec draft in comparison.
Yeah, definitely. Like it has some very entertaining aspects to it. There's a lot of mobility. There's a lot of quick in and out play. But at the same time, they have the backbone with that Enigma. They have a lot of potential to choose their fights carefully with the Centaur's Stampede. And when they do choose the right fight, Enigma's going to be right there to back it up, to follow it through. And although he will probably need a BKB, as the Cold Snap and Flame Break are pretty long range spells, it's still going to be a decent one for him. And this is another support I was considering. I thought it actually might be like disadvantageous in some circumstances to actually be running it. But LPC is going to go for the Earthshaker here. And the reason I said that is because essentially if they snowball in and they get the Ice Shards in certain position, adding more obstruction with that Fissure can actually turn against you pretty hard. You have to be very precise in how you use it and make sure that you're not blocking off your own allies from another route of escape. Those Ice Shards put with the Fissure make it so that nobody gets to move in or out. And with those closed doors, I would believe the kind of bruisery team would win out. The ones with better right-click damage, the ones with better durability, which in general right now is LGD.
Well, on that note, we'll introduce the lineup that looks a little bit nicer. It's maybe on the Enigma. Interesting. He's normally more of a core role player for them, but it looks like he'll be playing support this game, so I suppose a little role swap here for LGD. You've got, well, I guess it's a core Enigma, but still, it's not really like a maybe type of hero. You've got XH playing your support Tuskar. They're dropping out a war. Oh, already they're just quad laning bot. Are they just like straight creep skipping here?
Like, look at this. They're just like looking at him. They're just in the intimidation mode. Stout shield dropping. Oh my. This is already starting off to a good start, man. This is pretty interesting.
I'm glad they can have fun with each other. But, yeah, alright, let's introduce them now. We've got maybe on the Enigma that puts Garter onto your Skywrath Mage. XH will be playing your Tuskar. 3-3-3 will be handling the Ember Spirit going mid, and Q as the safe lane Centaur. Meanwhile, in Tongfu, you've got Red as the off-lane Bat Rider. LPC will be fissure blocking this one for him as the Earthshaker. U9, the Invoker, already kind of failing on his block. Kabu will be on the Venomancer, and that does leave Xiaolu as the safe lane Lifestealer. Did at least get the range creep in front, but it's not really that far in front, so... Well, walks up the cliff, and... yeah, he'll lose his range creep here first, so the lane will push towards him in the end. But not if 3-3-3 denies his first, which he does, so... yeah, not the best block by him.
So, I'm looking for the initiation here. We do get the Ice Shards plus, and Concussive Shot Red. There's really nowhere to go without the Firefly.
Well, unfortunately, there's an Earthshaker here.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to stay up there. Pretty much wherever the Tusk and the Skywrath roam, that's where the Earthshaker needs to be, to respond, to always have a Fissure to disengage the situation. But First Blood's actually going to be down bottom. They did get the Gale and the Open Wounds onto the Enigma, and even Boots First aren't going to help you against that. That's just way too much slow. You need a TP scroll to get away, and in this case, he hasn't purchased one, and still will be feeding his life away.
Yeah, it's one of the... denying the lane is okay here, but, I mean, it's a lifestealer. It's not the scariest hero to get free farm, so... Especially considering the lineup. I'm surprised he's not considering even just going to the jungle and just leaving the lane alone. Because the other thing is, Veno and Lifestealer don't really push that effectively early on. Like, when the Veno gets his level 2 or 3 wards up, then you have to worry about it, but that is not going to be until level 5 for him, so... We'll see. And maybe we'll sit back for now. Still can get some CS with the Eidolons, but it is risky for him to stay in this bottom lane.
Yeah, as long as he makes sure that he stays back and his Eidolons are doing the work for him, I think he'll be okay. But he just has to always use his Demonic Conversion on his own creeps to keep pulling the lane back. So, made a little bit of a misstep there. Hopefully, it won't be happening again. We will see LPC covering up the top rune spawn and just trying to get it for himself, honestly. Neither mid really needs it at this particular moment without the bottles, so he's going to look for an Invis or a Haste to try to gank mid with.
Yeah, for now, our Ember 7-3, and U9 doing a decent job with the null tally start. It is an illusion for LPC. I'll send them trotting towards the lane, while looks like he may go for another fissure block to pull this one back. Not 100% sure, though. The lane is pushing pretty hard. And
what's maybe doing out here? This seems, like, wild. One Gale, and he's dead again. Like, if with a TV scroll, maybe, but I don't know. This just seems pretty crazy.
You know, all mid lane. Smoke rotation from LGD.cdec. Are they heading all the way bottom? Oh, they found him. Yeah, there's you go. And Shalu has open wounds. Probably doesn't even need to use it, honestly. I think the Gale slows enough here. Really 2 trees trying to get out, but can he deny himself with his Eidolons? No, not even that. That would have been pretty nice if he'd at least denied himself, but tough one to pull off.
Yeah, either this is a super elaborate bait for this smoke egg, or I don't know. We just see Kabu is going to be going down here. The ice shards, the snowball, connecting right on his face, and he will be dropping, but they've already fed 2 kills to Lifestealer, at least a kill and an assist, so I don't really feel confident in how this bottom lane's transpiring, even with that gank.
It's a Quas Wex Invoker. This is a... I thought it was extinct, honestly. I haven't seen a Quas Wex Invoker in months. And even then, it was like I saw like 1 or 2 Quas Wex Invokers and like 30 Quas Exor, as maybe gets caught again, but he has backup inbound this time. He's got the tri-lane here. They're going to lose him. Dis-denied, though. Nicely done. Denies himself with his own Eidolons. Big plays for maybe, I suppose. Though, he has died 3 times, so...
Yeah.
Can't say they're too big, but they are plays, nonetheless.
Definitely. Everybody's
plays are
here.
happening, Blaze. Plays are happening. This is Dota, man. This is Dota.
Definitely. Yeah, as far as Quaswex Invoker goes, like, the only place I really feel it fits in anymore is up against, like, a Omni Knight push lineup, essentially. Like, we've seen EG run the Abaddon, Omni Knight, the Arthas lane, I like to call it, because they're from the Warcraft 3 models. But anyways, with that kind of setup where you have the Guardian Angel, the Repel, and the Aphotic Shield that you can take off with Tornado, and the fact that they're so mana dependent that you can really benefit from EMP, I feel it's a good build in that situation, but otherwise, Extinct is a pretty good word. It doesn't feel like it has that much merit.
And 3-3-3 will take some damage over time here, but he turns on Cabo in the river, and with this level 3 Flame Guard, it's an easy kill going the way of the Ember. He still has the shield up. Fissure, not enough to dispel that. Man, they are really lacking nuke damage. Now they go in. Snowballing forward. Maybe joins the fray. Malefice. It's only a level 1 Malefice, but it should be enough with the Dust Follow. No Ghost Walk possible. It doesn't have the Invoke cooldown anyway. And no Fissure. They'll turn this one back around. LGD.cdec. Despite the 3 deaths, so maybe, they now lead this one 4-3.
Yeah, so just getting good movement together, collaborating as 3 or 4 heroes, and getting the better edge of these... in general. I mean, like I was saying, it really comes down when it gets to this slugfest to who has more damage and who has more HP. And if you actually look at Tongfu's lineup, they have 3 heroes who had their base damage just completely shredded in recent patches. The Batrider, the Venomancer, the Invoker, all of them had massive base damage reduction. And with the fact that Invoker's not going Exhort, he's still hitting for, like, what, 68? Like, that's not going to cut it.
And, yeah, they get another kill top lane. This one's on the Batrider. This Tuskar is all over the place right now, making the plays for his team. And he's 2-0-2. They've got 5 kills, and 4 of them coming on the back of the Tusk's early rotations. This is before the full combo comes out. No Black Hole yet, but maybe we'll work his way towards that. They now have Stampede online, so they've got a lot of mobility skills up for the squad. And, yeah, I do look towards the mid game, and even with the control of Invoker, I I still massively favor LGD.cdec in team fights if it's an even game. The only way that's not going to be the case is Lifestealer bombs.
Yeah, that's the thing is Lasso Sunstrikes and Lifestealer bombs in general are going to be able to be that kind of pick-off defining factor.
Well, there's no Sunstrikes though, right? So just
sorry, kind of on autopilot with that Invoker, I guess.
No, it is very rare to see, so I totally understand.
But you know, you can get one value point in Exhort. What's the level 1 Sunstrike? That's 100 pure damage, easy last hit. I don't know, but yeah, no. The one weakness that LGD.cdec do have is they're going to be hurting for mana if they get hit by any EMPs at all. The Stampede is a counter to it, but not always one you want to pop in response to just a simple EMP. So maybe a couple Arcane Boots could come up, but for now, it's going to be the Death of Kabu.
You left your tower, my friend. That was your first mistake, and it will be your last. Surrounded and pounded by LGD.cdec. He'll go down easily. And that Xiaolu charges into the silence, but he's got a tornado backing him up. Stampede to slow down Xiaolu. He still has his fest. Can he get inside something? Eidolons, yeah, he'll pop in. He pops back out. And he may end up going down here regardless. One more nuke with the Eidolon auto text. It's enough. Tries to get a tango. It's simply insufficient. As U9 chases, but he invoked Ghostwalk. I think he misclicked trying to invoke a Cold Snap. And, well, now he's not going to get a kill he otherwise would have. In fact, they're chasing U9. Ember joining this fray. And now, got the Searing Shades up. But the Ghostwalk, in this case, ends up working out. Allows them
I don't know, Garter has dust, but they thought that I guess they didn't have enough lockdown post Searing Chains to finish the kill, so they'll have it for later, but in this case he does get to slip away. Phase Boots up on him, so he does have some mobility, but you're not going to outrun a Stampede. They're going to be chasing you down all over the place, and one thing that I did think about was EMP versus Snowball. You can actually like just all group up in the EMP, but down bottom.
Yeah, 3-3-3. Fissured has very little mana here. He'll drop a Remnant before going down, but there's no one in position to make a buyback worthwhile, and doesn't have the gold anyway, so he'll be back to the well for 20, and he'll get a free trip down to the bottom lane if he wants to go farm there when he respawns. Yeah, it is a good habit as Ember. Just if you're about to die, just drop a Spirit, so you at least have you save yourself a TP scroll for later on. Later on in the game doesn't always help you if you got the long buyback or the long respawn, but yeah, mid lane they've snowballed in on Kabu. Malphus is here, starting to move the Sigil to chase him out, and they'll dive him under this tower, but now they're in a pretty awkward... No, not that awkward. There's just no mana on this Invoker to do anything. Now they'll Stampede. They're going to dive U9. The Ghostwalk is 200 mana. He's well short of that. Chains were whiffed by 3-3-3. And they won't get the kill. That was an easy one if he hit it. Now the Lasso 3-3-3. Is this going to be a 3-2-2 play? It sure is. He goes down. He drops the Spirit again before dying. Once again, has no buyback. Just died, came back, went right down mid and died again. As they pursue out Garter. Complete mess of a dive for LGD.cdec, losing 2 for nothing. I mean, they get the Earthshaker kill, but they should not have lost anyone there.
We just see this pursuit XH running to the top lane here. The Plague Wards just continue to nitpick at him. He can't get the Tranquil Boots off because of the Plague Wards, but now fading him in, saying you can't touch this. And wow.
Well, the feeds are real, man. Jesus Christ. I'm counting like 5 or 6 completely avoidable and unnecessary deaths this game. And we're only 9 minutes in.
It's just gonna keep coming, man. It really is. But yeah, we'll see the Bat Rider make its way to the jungle to try to pick up that Blink Dagger. Obviously, he hasn't gotten there just yet, but he's not too far off. The Earthshaker's been roaming around a lot, but now he actually gets some time on the lane to start farming up. We'll see if he can actually survive much longer against the Blink Centaur, though. I feel like if he stays too long, that's not going to be working out too well for him. On the bottom lane, we do see some push coming through. The Black Hole!
And the Mystic Flare. Xiaolu, how dare you enter this bottom lane, says Maybe. And he gets his much longed for revenge. There was zero hesitation. That was a complete middle finger of a Black Hole that Maybe just administered. And, of course, an effective one, too.
Yeah, very solid. Now we're going to see the dive, perhaps XH looking to go for the snowball play. Sigil the Scout, get the vision, kill Kabu. That's their mission now. Well,
they find an easier target, or a better target, I guess you'd say. Red gets Polar punched up, and nearly finished off. Yeah, he'll end up going down. Now the EMP turnaround attempted here, but there's no mana really to burn on XH. Still, he's Scout. He's got stick charges, no snowball. He'll stick up, throws out a nice shards, but that only covers their path of retreat from the rest of LGD.cdec. We now Stampede forward, stomp. 1-2, only got 1, but it's an easy kill there. As they chase further onto U9, and doesn't have a Ghost Walk. No Searing Chain Sleight of Fist even attempted. Oh yeah, they're diving on the other side of the fight. But Lifesteal's infested. He pops back out, but he didn't even wait long enough for Rage to cool down, and he just feeds as a result. He might have died to auto attacks, but if he just waited like 2 seconds, could have raged and then TP'd, and I think may have just made it out. Game of feeds, Blaze. Yeah, game of feeds.
I think that's like, going to be the point of reliance for Tongfu to try to pull ahead, is just to expect CDEC to go for as many overextensions as possible and look for a way to punish it. I know Rod of Atos sounds good in that regard, but I really don't know. Like I think U9 probably should go for Atos here. He's probably looking at Force Staff though, and looking to disengage over Ice Shards and things of that nature. We're going to see a TP up top, helping out LPC, covering his retreat, and the Batrider still very far off the blink. I mean, I was talking about it early. It was 9 minutes in. He was only like, 500, 600 gold off, but now several minutes have passed, and he's only slightly closer.
LGD.cdec now. At this point, with a comfortable lead, as they now lead by 5,000 gold, 3,000 experience. For those who are trickling in now, just so you know, these teams are not in any... There's no chance to go to the playoffs of Starladder China. They're both 0-5, but they're just looking for a win here and some good experience. And they'll potentially get a kill soon on U9. He's scouted out by a Dire Observer Ward. It's their detection on Q. There's not, but there is a dust on the sky, so if they stampede into dust, they may be able to get the kill. The U9 is retreating out rather rapidly, but the push comes in mid for maybe, so he's going to draw them that direction. They'll head south instead. They'll look for a kill on Xiaolu, but he's a tough one. They have to silence him before he rages. And they decide to go back to mid. Alright, let's head this direction. Observer Ward drop down. LPC and U9 too far back to really engage upon, as the top lane is being farmed by XH, raiding Curry on a little shopping trip, and they're getting nothing. LGD.cdec completely denied their efforts to gank.
So they'll just go for the bottom lane. Should be pretty easy to put pressure on this. The Rage is on cooldown now. Maybe he's got that black hole in 15. They're just going to buckler up the creeps, and they should be able to at least get some good siege damage here. But they seem to be kind of spreading across the map here. At least openings for pickoffs. The Batrider looking for that Blink Lasso onto 333, and it looks like he's going to get it. But the snowball response, maybe.
Nice chains by 333. Right as Red was jumping in for the lasso. Didn't get right on top of him, so couldn't cast the lasso before the chains came out. Meanwhile, bottom, Xiaolu forced off. Maybe has Black Hole ready, but no Blink to get in here quickly. And now Xiaolu must sit back with his rage cooling down for 10 seconds. Tough for him to fight in. And the slow siege continues, Blaze. They're getting close to a mech here, as mentioned. Centaur, Blink ready now, but Rage also ready for Xiaolu. Malefice to try and bait out the Rage. They will do so. And now a Blink forward, this time for the Batrider. Maybe unable to get in, and right as the Centaur blinks in, he jumps into a Mystic Flare, maybe kept alive by the Stampede, but Q's the one who will pay. He's caught out. He'll get the stop one too. He's going to go down to the tower and auto attacks from U9. Then the tower gets denied. A real overextension there. Could have... kind of bad timing, I suppose, as he just blinked on top of the tornado, but... yeah, they at least saved their Enigma, and that does allow maybe to complete the mech. So I suppose that makes it the better option as far as who could die in the end. Mech's now online.
Yeah. So just right now, it's got the 5 kill advantage. We do see, as far as just generally speaking, the gold is being farmed up a little bit more efficiently on the side of LGD.cdec, mostly because of the tower advantage right now. Now, a single tower has been claimed from Tongfu, so I think that's got to be their next big objective, is maybe find a pickoff with their combo and then just get some real objectives behind it, because they're not going to get any gold.
Xiaolu, this is not good, my friend. There's already been used a Walrus Punch, though. He'll be able to TP out. Should have probably reserved that for after the Rage, but... oh well. Still a lot of damage done.
Mm-hmm.
And Lifesteal is not farming end of the day, which is still a victory in and of itself for LGD.cdec. And we were talking about the key for this Tongfu draft has to be Lifestealer bombs. We've yet to see a single Lifestealer bomb, Blaze, and Red has no Force Staff anyway, so it's a very difficult gank to pull off and still safely evacuate your Lifestealer after the fight.
Yeah, I don't know. In this position, like, they only just got the Blink Dagger in general, so it's not like they've had that many openings, but they definitely need to just find something before the Stampede just allows...
Another missed chains by 333. Searing Chains, and it's not that hard to hit with Sleight of Fist. Like, you'll miss a few here or there, but he's missed, like, way too many of them for my tastes.
Yeah, with practice, anyways, it's definitely something they should be able to accomplish consistently. We do see a nice flank coming in from XH, though. He has the Blink Dagger, has a Snowball, but how will he use it other than to annoy people?
All right, we got a Batrider Bomb. We're in business here for Tongfu, in theory. As XH walks right out and then blinks away. Cold Snap did connect on him, and the Venom Ward is causing this to proc. They could go in for an EMP. They have Tornado ready as well, but it's the Batrider they want to start the fight, and they'll find maybe. They even use their Centaur. Oh, completely airballs the stomp. What a fail. Still, the mech for maybe may keep him alive long enough to get out. Q, forced to retreat, and, well, they're going to fight it out without him. Mystic Flare was there, kills off Kabu, and do they now turn and head the other direction of the engagement? Looks like they want to. LPC gets caught out, gets off the dunk, kills off the Eidolons, but can't get the kill. And now maybe lurches forward, but can't get in range of Shaolu with his phase boots. Maybe the Ember can. Just changed randomly. Did not sleight of fist. I think just underestimated the distance required to get that. Now the Tornado turnaround. Hits on 3. Lifestealer jukes out of a Centaur Stomp, then open wounds. But they're going to use the Sigil to slow down any potential chasing. As Ember TP's out. He'll be coming back momentarily to his Remnant if he wants to.
The blink away and then the smoke. Just hiding out on the top of the cliff here. The Radiant don't have any vision.
Oh, Shaolu, why would you think it's safe? Why would you think it's safe? It is not safe. And now Kabu, there you go. There's your chains connection by 333, and on the back of that, Kabu will go down.
Yeah.
That was a cute move with the smoke back.
Yeah, they're just about to break the base with like half HP. Just be like, yeah, whatever. So we can just kill off 2 people outside, bait them in, and find an opening. It looks like Roche would probably be the easy play, so if they get some summons up for that, that's probably what they'll be looking towards. But for now, they're picking up the tier 1, and that's already down to 200 HP, so they're just going to mad mode it. No need to wait for creeps.
And they're going to take the... Well, actually, Glyph will slow this one down a little bit. Centaur dropping almost dangerously low as Batrider is waiting on the high ground with the lasso ready to go. But LGD.cdec will take that tier 1 mid, and still 0 towers secured for Tongfu. We can actually check the LGD.cdec tier 1 towers. They're all around half health or even a bit more. Very healthy so far.
All I want out of this game is to see Tusk at one point blink on somebody that gets lassoed and snowball them out of it and break the link. That's all I want to see, because I've talked about it a couple times theoretically, but I've never actually gotten to enjoy it, and I think it's a really cool counter that we really want to get involved in. But Geometry Side for now, he's going to play a little bit more passively, maybe not wanting to jump into the thick of things. I mean, you're generally jumping into not only Firefly, but Poison Nova, Gale, Cold Snap, all these painful things.
In the mid lane, initiation onto Garber. He gets caught up by a Tornado, Cold Snap, and will end up going down. Now the Blink Lasso back on the 333, and, well, he just zips out. Couldn't lock him down long enough, and he'll make his way out.
Man.
Now Tongfu try to push in. They're grouping up here. Don't have their mech yet on Kabu, and they don't have the Force Staff yet, but they'll try and hang on and take some objectives. It's the Eidolon split push the bottom lane. Another Sleight of Fist. Decent damage from that. The tower will go down, though. It goes the way of U9. So a pulse here for Tongfu as they pull the game back towards that 5,000 gold deficit. Kabu gets caught. Will they jump? No, a little afraid to go in on him, it looks like.
We'll see Q on the top lane, though. Damage in the tower. It's going to push it close to deny range, but not just yet. And, yeah, they're just so spread. Like, I kind of feel like if LGD.cdec just compounded their advantage by going for a full movement while they're full HP, instead of kind of doing their own thing up top, mid, and bottom, then they would probably be able to just seal this game in, like, 28 minutes. But they're having fun with it. We'll see if they go for a Roche play anytime soon or anything to make it a little bit more stable for the victory.
Yeah, as far as what LGD.cdec would need to try and push in, Battle Fear and Ember is coming pretty soon. That's a big damage item for them. I think beyond that, you're mainly looking at, like you say, an Enigma BKB. That's going to be crucial for them. At that point, there's really no way to cancel Black Hole. You cannot rely on Lasso to do that when it's got such a minimal AoE to cast within. So, yeah, I'm feeling the Enigma BKB, and then I think LGD.cdec can at least threaten the high ground. They may want to go for a pick-off first, though.
Yeah, a lot of potential for that with this lineup in particular. But XH lurking, looking for an opportunity, but linking out with that gem.
Yeah, thought he might blink in, but that would be a little bit too YOLO. 333. Gets caught by a fissure. Flamebreak almost pushed him on the other side of this one, but still has a remnant to retreat to if he needs to. It's kind of funny. Oh, Sleight of Fist finds LPC, and Yeah, his own fissure not really helping him out too much there. Ends up getting caught in an awkward slot and picked off for free. Just very odd engagement. Like, Tongfu didn't want to go in, but they also didn't want to let LGD.cdec just sit in this bottom lane and free farm and push, so they just decided to sacrifice the Earthshaker, I suppose, as a way to hold the line.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy time at this point, and we do see the Batrider will be picking up his Force Staff very soon, so that's going to be enabling them to control their base defense a lot better. Not only just stacking up Plague Wards under whatever tower is going to be pushed, but if they try to siege for it, you can easily just blink, lasso, Force Staff them into the Meat Grinder, and Tongfu will be able to punish that pretty heavily from there. And the cool thing is that anybody that groups up around the Batrider actually gets hit by the EMP, but like I said, Snowball might be able to negate that if they all clump up in that little sphere, and that will obviously make it more difficult for the combo to work well for the Invoker. He did go for a point exort here, so we might see some multi-spell play. For now, he's going for a 4-6-1 build, so some diversity there.
Well, an Invoker?
Yeah, 3-6-1 on his orbs, so I mean, like, you get all 10 spells, but I mean, the only one that really matters in that case is going to be the Deafening Blast Disarm.
Yeah, I think you want to take the 1 point. Icewall's pretty good as well to defend high ground, so I'm fine with the 1 point exort, but I imagine we're just going to see him go for the double Forge Spirits as soon as he maxes his Wex, but he is rather poor. This is the one downside, like, when we ever see this Quas Wex build on Invoker, he's such a level-dependent hero, and it's just not the done thing to go for... Oh, LPC getting caught bottom lane. Sleight of Fist was there. Mystic Flare nearly finished him off. The Malefice should be enough to take him down. Yeah, maybe we'll secure the kill. But yeah, it's just nobody goes Midas on Quas Wex Evoker, and as a result, you get to this stage of the game, and all you really have is the Max Wex. No double Forge Spirits, no damage potential, but top lane, they'll jump in, lassoing Q and holding him in place. The Walrus Punch knocks Shallow up in the air, but with backup, they'll end up giving up 2 kills. Great jump there by Tongfu. The Batrider Bomb, as well as the Invoker, combining to kill off an important hero, especially in the Centaur.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, he doesn't have damage with that kind of build-up, so they're really relying on this Venomancer getting to level 11. He's halfway there, but just needs just a little bit more. And the Lifestealer, obviously, to get pretty farm, but looks like he's going to be going for a Basher build-up, so in this position...
It's just such a bad Lifestealer game. You've got the Walrus Punch knock-up effect, the Frozen Sigil, the Black Hole, the universal damage of Midnight Pulse, Sleight of Fist damage, the instant silence from the Skywrath if he ever gets in range, and if they ever need to run... They also have Stampede. It's just not a good Lifestealer game. Like, unless they just jump one hero on its own with the Batrider.
And that's kind of what I thought as soon as they picked it up. Like, they third-picked it, and that leaves room for even more counterplay. But, of course, the only thing that he was really negating there was the Skywrath.
And another Black Hole into Mystic Flare. Poor Shadow. Oh, I do feel for this guy, though. When they're so far ahead that they can just casually commit a Black Hole just for a Lifestealer like that, then... And they know Tongfu can't do anything about it. Like, they can't push out the lanes. They have no ability to take buildings, really, at all. No double Forge Spirits, no Necro Book, no minus armor on buildings. All they have are Plague Wards to push. Yeah, then you could just Black Hole Lifestealer and not be punished at all for it.
So they're really looking for the ultimate wombo, though. As we approach, like, the 30-minute mark, they're like, okay, well, let's go for a 5-man Black Hole, try to stomp double edge everybody while the Battle Fury just cleaves on all 5 heroes. That's what they want to do. But yeah, we'll see if they can even get that cluster up. The Ice Shards are good clumping mechanisms by themselves, and maybe you'll just get a couple caught in the Igloo. But yeah, we'll see the push up top. 4 heroes making their way there, but Bigma all by himself. Gonna have to TP that direction as soon as he pushes out this next summon wave.
Blaze, I do want to point out that the Maybe who went 0-3 in the bottom lane is now the leader in net worth. Somehow he's the most farmed hero on the map. As the off-lane feeder Enigma, who like gave up 2 avoidable kills, then denied himself, preventing a 3rd from actually going the way of the enemy team. But he's a comeback player, and he is farming real well now. BKB coming very soon.
Yeah, he's just been kind of setting up shop in the bottom lane here, and that BKB timing is absolutely immense. Like, as you mentioned, that's pretty much the game-winning pickup right here, and he's even going to get the Haste Rune to make his way up to the lane. So he gets to keep his TP scroll, he gets to Cory out this big item, and yeah, that's going to be where they just put huge amounts of momentum behind them. At this point, Tongfu, they need something huge. They need to be able to pull the enemy into the base with the Force Staff and catch them in a position they're not willing to engage in.
I never count out a team that is a Bat Rider when they're defending high ground, but it's more like if LGD.cdec even give them an opening along those lines. If they want to play it safe, they can get the Aegis and just keep on farming until they find a pickoff before going in. Oh, by the way, very cute ward here, dropped down by XH. And Unai is kind of hanging around near him. I don't think he knows he's here. Oh, maybe he does. Does he know?
Something. We're gonna see the. He wants to go for like a solo kill play. What? I don't even know. They see it. They saw the infest bomb. It was a ghost walk plus infest coming out.
Normally, when you see this though, it's with an orchid on the invoker, but he just says 4-step ultimate orb, so it's kind of a. Well, they've got to find an easy target like the Skyrat to get this kill. But they'll go in towards the Roach Pit. Roach dropping fairly low. Lasso vacuums Garter back towards the Bat Rider. And now they arrive with the Invoker, focusing him down with an EMP. Does Unai really getting close for this fight? That's the question. Black Hole up in 15 as Tongfu try to force their way into the Roach Pit, but they're fighting up against a big army. And they seem a little bit nervous. So 3-3-3 will chase the other way. He's got a Remnant available.
They've got nothing versus Stampede now.
Oh, nice Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Bringing Kabu down to nearly the death zone. They'll currently use the Sigil to scout out, and this has given them time for Stampede to cool down, as well as Black Hole. They're not going to go on Kabu, though. They go into red. They Walrus punch him up there. The Gems down the drain off the bat. Meanwhile, the Black Hole maybe catches out 2 on the far side of the fight. Unai and Xiaolu. Now they'll be cleaved down by the Ember. And yeah, 3-3-3 is just going to go to work. Stop on Xiaolu. The follow-up's there. Maybe almost died. They almost finished him off, but they couldn't quite do it. They lost their Invoker as well as their Lifestealer for their trouble. And Earthshaker, I think, whiffed his Echo Slam, you were saying?
He hit just a Hellbear. He literally just killed 1 creep with it. It was absolutely terrible. I'm looking at if anything put it on cooldown. It looks like he didn't get hit by anything. His blink wasn't on cooldown. He just literally Echo Slammed the ground.
Yeesh. Yeesh. Well, they'll take Roche now. They also got the gem, which I briefly mentioned, but that's a big investment for this very impoverished Tongfu squad to give up now. And I think if you're LGD.cdec, you gotta wait a bit longer. You'll want Black Hole to cool down before your next real aggressive fight. Get your Crystallis, maybe the Daedalus up for 3-3-3, and I think those are the main items, really. BKB on Centaur will be nice as well. Beyond that, you have everything you need if you want to force high ground. But you definitely can just sit back and farm too. They have the options. As Tongfu will make a little sortie out this top lane, but they're not going to find this particular ward. Very crafty placement. As Red is on the Firefly. Gets caught. Oh, actually he catches maybe. He's a bit quicker on the draw there. And manages to pull him deep back in. But the snowball is coming. Trying to turn this one around. The mech keeps maybe alive. Now BKBs ends up surviving through all the damage. Mystic Flare finishes off the retreating Bat Rider. And the chase is on now. They've got a Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. He found 2. Unai and Xiaolu in jeopardy. Now, unable to get the follow-up though. The shards are a bit short. And meanwhile in the trees is LPC. He thought he was safe. But they have the Observer Ward on the cliff.
Imba Ward right there. That was just insane. They just gave him the free blink in for the perfect midnight pulls. He's like, yeah, just hang around here, guys. Eat all that damage. And yeah, at this point, I don't really know. Other than some pocket 5 blade mail strat, I don't see Tongfu pulling this one out.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. The Invoker pick I felt was. It can be okay, but oh, hold that thought. Blink in bottom lane is Unai will snowball. Which direction does he go? Yeah, he's gonna roll in on the Invoker. He's diving way far after him. Not sure he can get that kill. Meanwhile, bring around the Rosie as Bat Rider tries to finish off. Maybe he's got a Blink Dagger, can't end up using it. Now that Tusk who went in deep has gone in way too far. Polar Punch, not enough to get him out, and he'll be finished off by Cold Snap and right clicks. So they end up just feeding 2 kills basically for no reason. Oh man,
sounds about right.
That's pretty much the story of this.
Oh, I want to see the 100 damage Sunstrike. Oh, he's got 175. Damn, I want to see like a level 1 Sunstrike kill somebody. That'd be awesome. Man, this is pretty insane. I mean, obviously we knew from the draft that this would be a little bit clowny. Well,
not even the draft. Like as soon as you saw the item drop shenanigans at this bottom lane, that's when I was like, okay, everyone's just here to have fun, which is fine. You know, it can be stressful playing Dota competitively full time, and it's good to let off a little steam once in a while. Oh, 3-3-3 gets caught in the river. He's got a haster and an Aegis, though. They're committing a lot to kill December the first time around, and while they're doing that, Lifestealer, who doesn't have an Aegis, gets picked off. They'll lose the Ember Spirit, and... Oh, no, actually, sorry, didn't lose him. He Wrenched Remnant out. But he retreats, and now looks to go back in on U9 with the Haster. And, oh, missed the chains that time. But keeps on chasing forward, and Earthshaker blinks out as well. U9 still on the run. They've got a... They still have that gem is the question. Gem is... Yeah, they still have one on Tuskar, though.
Ooh.
So he bought his own in addition to the stolen one that they just got back, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's bought both of them with that in mind. Yeah, I believe he was the one to pick up the first one, so... Yeah, he's been dropping a lot of money into that.
In the meantime, Tongfu kind of trapped back in their base. As LGD.cdec will this time take the top tower safely. No one to contest this. Crystal is now picked up on 333. We're actually seeing an Ember get farmed. The last few games that we've seen Ember, he has just gotten wrecked by the Drow Visage strat. I cast one of those games today, you and I cast one of them yesterday, but this is finally an Ember in his prime with some items to his name.
The more recent one, did they pick the Ember into it again, or is it like the Drow Visage was the counter pick?
I think they picked the Ember after the Drow Visage again.
I don't know why people do that. He's one of the worst heroes against it.
But they also aggressive tri-laned 430's Ember instead of like giving him a mid lane where he could farm. And yeah, he didn't have a good time. Q gets pulled way down by a lasso, all the way into the Radiant base effect. But he's got Stampede. He's just trapped in by the Ice Shards inside of the Radiant base. He's not even bothering to Stampede his way out. The rest of the team's just watching this transpire from the high ground.
They're literally just standing still. They're like, yeah.
You okay, bro? He's like, I could use some help, guys. Little help would be nice. LPC committed an Echo Slate for that. Then the Black Hole on 3. Sleight of Fist, Polar Punch, chase him down, and try and collect your kills now. Another Sleight, another kill. A noble sacrifice from our Centaur War Runner. Great Black Hole again.
They really were just sitting there. I can just imagine them just joshing up in the voice chat, just being like, yeah, that sucks to be you, man. But now this is fun. Now we see the awesome Black Hole do its work. The tier 2 will certainly fall, but they still have Aegis. They can look to high ground here, and it's going to be on Tongfu to pull a really big defense. The EMP has to be there. The Fisher has to be really good too.
Snowballing all the way in. They're just going full YOLO mode, man. Oh, no, just kidding. He blinks out. It's very unusual to see this level of just clowniness in Chinese Dota, I will say. I've seen, like, even when Chinese teams play very aggressively, it's not like clowny aggression. It's like fairly organized aggression. Whereas, like, you know, we cast some of the Starladder Europe games, straight up clowny aggression, but this is full clown aggression right now from LGD.cdec. Fun times.
Definitely worth watching. And Red is going in. So we're going to see him probably pick up the Enigma, but they don't see the Skywrath.
Waits in for the lasso, but maybe he's too quick to run up the hill, and he'll survive from this. He's got a BKB ready. Focusing on Garter, LPC just has some hate for him. Sleight of Fist onto Kabu. Holding him in place, and he'll probably go down here. The mech trying to keep himself alive, not going to be successful. They continue their chase forward. Blinking, concussive shot in the slow onto Xiaolu. But he's got Rage in 5. They're going to have to commit heavily to kill him off, and they will. They're snowballing all the way after him, and then he says, screw it, I'm walking the other way. They'll leave the Ember here. 333 can't decide if he wants to go in or not, and then he decides to back off. And it is starting to become a very difficult to surmount lead at this point. They're now down by 20,000 gold and 20,000 experience.
This is really tough. I mean, they've taken exactly one tower with this lineup, unfortunately, and they have lost everything on the outside. They're not losing their base anytime soon. They have a decent turtle lineup, but they also don't have any way of really breaking out. They don't have any great, comeback swing. Now that we've killed 3 or 4 heroes, are we suddenly going to be able to go across half the map, take a tower, and not regret our decisions?
LPC, you totally should have Echo Slammed that creep wave for some free gold, man.
That's a one Exort Meteor he just cast. That's like...
What's the damage on a 1 Exort Meteor? It's pretty bad, right?
Yeah, like you hit it. You hit the nail on the head with it, and it only does 60 damage initially. Like it's ridiculously crappy.
Yeah. And then the burn damage is a third of what it normally is.
Like I think
it will travel very far though. So it'll be a very harmless but extremely cool looking meteor. Kind of the opposite of what you're looking for, but oh well.
That sounds like a Disney B movie. The Adventures of the harmless meteor that travels a long way. I don't know, but yeah, the Invokers at this point his main contribution is EMP, and if they dodge that, then they're gonna have some real issues. He does not have the Scythe of Ice, so that's pretty huge. But whether or not they'll catch Umbra with it is the big question.
And,
we do see,
and they still have to lasso him because otherwise they'll just stampede him away. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, Hex could be big here. Sleight of Fist catching out. We're trying to catch out a few. The Hex is now deployed, but Lasso... Oh, Lasso's there. Pulls him all the way back in. This is going to be the death of 333. They kill off the Ember. Oh. Then the Black Hole. He got them all, maybe. Practically 3 caught out. Red unable to go in. The Earthshaker out of the fight. They all get smacked down.
LPC! He tries to echo with his blink on cooldown this time. Walked into the Midnight Pulse.
GG. Combo's had enough. He's tired of getting reamed. Oh, 1 in 13. Not quite the Milk Award, but on his way to it.
Oh boy, that was a tough one. That some real shenanigans this game, but Tongfu, their draft, we were questioning it right out the gate. Their playstyle, their hearts weren't fully in it, and LPC, did he even hit a slam? I feel like he didn't. He slammed a hell of a Hellbear Smash, but that's about it.
Poor Kabu. This has to be the worst game I've seen out of them. And honestly, Blaze, I hate to say it, but I think they have to cut LPC. His Jungle Doom was atrocious the other day. This Earthshaker, the one missed, like maybe the Blink Dagger did get canceled the one fight, but
I took the combat log, dude. It didn't, but
okay,
all the same.
Okay, no excuses. Honestly, like this guy has been hamstringing his team. I think this is the first time I've ever even said that a team maybe should remove a player on air, but LPC is just not on the level his team needs him to be on. So either that or a lot of training. Maybe a lot of training will fix him. Well, for now, Tongfu, they'll continue to be struggling here in Starladder. They're 0-6. They've got one more chance to get a win on the board, but it's not looking good for them. That wraps up Starladder China coverage, guys. In an hour and a half, we'll be back for Starladder Europe. Lots of good games, as always, there. Actually, do you know what the games are, Blaze? Because you were looking at them earlier.
Yeah, a lot of Empire to start us off. It's Empire versus Cleave, Empire versus Cloud9, Empire versus Power Rangers. So it's a triple header to start that off. And then a big one, Virtus Pro versus Na'Vi. VP don't have nearly the win record of Na'Vi, but still they have a lot of games to play out, so it's a really valuable win for them if they can take it. And then it closes us out with Cloud9 versus Hellraisers and Cleave versus Virtus Pro.
Well, on that note, guys, we will be calling it a day here. Blaze and I will get some much-needed rest. K-Pop, Tosis, and Zyori will be on to bring you that broadcast. And actually, I'm sorry, I said it's beginning in an hour and a half, but we're using the earlier wildcard time slot, so it actually starts in, I think, 10 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, in 10 minutes. So we're not going anywhere. We'll leave the stream up. They'll take over, and yeah, you'll have more Dota. We'll pass you over as fluently as possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to follow Blaze if you enjoyed his casting, at BlazeCasting on Twitter, and myself at LDDota. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Starladder China wrapping up tomorrow, then straight into the playoffs, then I-League coming up, the LAN finals this weekend, or next weekend. Lots of great Dota headed your way right here on Beyond the Summit. See you later.